All right, welcome back to News Channel 7 Plus. Today we are joined with local nurse Craig Hackimer, and today he's shedding some light on nicotine and how it impacts your health. Thanks for joining us, Craig.
Thanks for having me, Barry.
And we were just chatting a little bit, like exactly what you were saying. Just go ahead and say that again about the importance of
Yeah, sure. So I mean, you know, one of the things that we do as nurses is we provide patient education, and pretty much anybody who's ever filled out a healthcare form, you see the question about tobacco use. But we have a generation now that's addicted to nicotine that's never touched tobacco.
Right.
And I think this is one of the things that we could improve on as healthcare professionals is inquiring a little bit about, you know, nicotine use, because it does have health implications, especially for long-term use.
Yeah, I've never, until you were mentioning that, like I've never even thought about it like that, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So nicotine replacement, I mean, it has its place in the healthcare world because, you know, smoking is really, really bad for your health. There's over 7,000 chemicals that you ingest whenever you inhale a cigarette smoke, right? One of them just happens to be nicotine. So nicotine replacement has helped a lot of people kick that habit.
Yeah.
But you're still taking in nicotine.
Right.
And now there's products like vapes and tobacco-less flavor pouches that has nicotine in it. Of course, the patches and the gums and things like that.
Right.
But there's a cardiovascular risk with long-term use with this. And like I said, with the generation that is using it and never touched tobacco, but they're using nicotine products, I think we should educate them on what they're doing to their bodies.
Yeah, what it actually is and what they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nicotine's a very powerful stimulant, and most of the effects that you're going to get from it affects your cardiovascular system. So elevated heart rate, hypertension, it does cause blood vessels to constrict, and it makes everything, you know, for lack of a better term, real sticky inside your blood vessels. So you get hardening of the arteries, you get plaque buildups, and as those blood vessels narrow, this is where heart attacks and strokes come in.
Yeah.
Other illnesses like peripheral vascular disease, pulmonary embolisms, which is basically like a lung attack. So the blood supply to the lung gets blocked.
And I think oftentimes people associate smoking, thinking it is tobacco, with some sort of lung condition.
Exactly.
But it like you're saying, it does affect the heart.
Everything that circulates the blood, that, you know, the nicotine is going to affect it eventually. But the good news is a lot of this can be reversed. So if you are using a nicotine product and you want to get off of it, obviously talk to your healthcare provider and, you know, formulate a plan, taper yourself off, but that should be the end goal. Within 72 hours of stopping nicotine, your body's already trying to go back to normal.
Right.
Within 4 weeks, there's measurable differences.
Wow.
In the positive.
Yeah.
Blood pressure's normalized, heart rate normalizes, and within about 5 years, you're back to a level as if you've never touched it before.
That's really amazing.
Absolutely. And this is why I feel like we should be asking those questions, because if a patient shows up in the hospital and we're triaging them and we do the questionnaire and they say they've never used tobacco products, and we're chasing their tail with their blood pressure. Well, why? Well, I don't use tobacco, but I do vape, or you know, I use the little nicotine pouches. Well, there you go.
It's
you know?
kind of semantics a little bit.
Exactly. You know, I think we need to delve in as deep as possible so we can give the patients the best care and the best information so they can make decisions.
Yeah, and it's great to know for anyone that is still, like you said, that is still using nicotine, that it's reversible, completely reversible.
Completely reversible, exactly. Yeah.
That's definitely something I think people should know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Any last thoughts on to further this? The way you're explaining it is actually really easy to understand. Even how you said it, like, makes everything inside kind of sticky. You know, I think as you're saying it too, like, being able to hear it like that and process it like that, it makes it easier to understand, and hopefully gives people a little more of a motivation to stop.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and that's one of the things as nurses, you know, we hear the doctor language, right?
Yeah.
And we understand that, but not everybody else does. I could say arteriosclerosis, and, you know, even I have a hard time saying some of the medical terminology. So I want to bring it back down to a level that people would understand.
Yeah.
So you know what's actually going on. You know,
well,
and I'm a believer of giving the information. You can't make a decision on anything, whether it's buying a car or your health, unless you have all the information.
Well, thanks for providing some of that information today. It was really helpful, really awesome to hear. And Nurse Craig Hackimer here, helping us understand a little more about nicotine. All right, thanks, Craig. Don't go anywhere. Coming up, it's time travel back to the 80s.